Hi, thank you for joining me for day 13 of Scraptember 2023. Today's prompt is a sketch from the lovely Laura Alberts. I'll try to remember to pop that at the top of the screen somewhere. And she's used a lot of hexagons. Now you'll see from the sketch that her hexagons have the straight edge across the top, but I'm using Simple Stories Heart Eyes. And these are, some of them are directional. I cut these all out of the hexagon paper, so I'm having to have them with the point facing up rather than the flat edge facing up. So I did have a play with these hexagons before I started filming, just to get a general idea of how they would all lay on the page, and also to check that I had enough. This kit really is down to scraps now, so I just wanted to ensure that there were enough. Otherwise I would have punched some more or cut some more out of the pattern paper that I have left. So just position these around the page. I wanted one in that top left hand corner just to add some interest there. And now I'm just positioning them roughly where they are in the sketch, all around this 4x6 photo that I've got. So gluing those all down into place, and I'm definitely doing this as an ode to Laura. I absolutely adore watching her videos. She's really nice and fun to watch. So do go and check out her channel if you haven't already. Scraptember is run by Laura and the Scrappy sisters, who also have their own YouTube channel, of course. And theirs is great. They share the channel, so it's Katie and Jess both posting on there. So again, do check their channel out too. And I'm really enjoying having all these prompts to work with, and it's great to be broken up by the sketches as well. Of course, we've got we've got 30 days of sketches next month, so it's going to be a month-long sketchathon. But in the meantime, it's nice to have a sketch every so often. I just feel like sometimes you don't need to think quite so much when you've got a sketch like this. I'm following it fairly closely, as you can see, and I really enjoy creating this. So the photo is of my children when they were just 2 in a local park. I had a friend who was a photographer, and she offered to take photos of them for their birthday present. So this is one of her photos, and it's fab. And the colours in the photo definitely lend themselves to this collection, so that's why I chose to use it. And in fact, I've finished this kit. This was the Heart Eyes kit, nest box kit that Jackie Ashton and I created classes for, and then I created, I think, 5 bonus layouts with it, and I've used it for a couple of layouts since. It really has gone on and on and on. So check out those nest box kits if you're interested in having a kit with classes. And here I'm just matting the photo, so you can see there really are just scraps left. So I managed to mat the whole of the back of the photo with that, I don't know what to call it, the one with the hearts with the phrases all over them. And now I'm just using a partial piece of this pink. It already had a torn edge, so I'm making use of that torn edge and just trimming it down, top and bottom, just leaving a little bit of a border at the top and bottom there. And then I shall find some more pieces to add. So this was another small scrap I had left over. So I'm just going to use a thin strip of this in the end. I'm messing about trying to work out how it will look, but in the end I use a relatively thin strip to add down the left-hand side of the page. What was confusing me was that I've got the pink and cream geometric shape on there already, and then it was going to be another piece of pink behind that. And really I like to alternate colours where I can, but it was the only way to put the paper in the end when I had a mess, because the numbers would have been showing had I put it this way up. So back to this way, and I'm adding that, and then I'm also going to add one of these journaling cards from one of the cut apart sheets. I just like the pop of red on that, so that will be added to the bottom of the photo to complete this mat behind it. I didn't want the layers to be too big, because obviously I still want those hexagons to show. Didn't want to spend all that time creating those just to cover them all up, but a fair few of them do get covered up because I'll add the embellishments down the left hand side per the sketch. So just wondering whether to use that at the top, but I realised that the bottom corner isn't yet covered, so I add it to the bottom. Very lightly distressing the edges, not enough so that any of the paper comes off, but just to create a bit of texture. So there it goes on the bottom there. And that's the photo mat done. So now I can start working on the cluster, as I say, up the left-hand side of the page. So first of all, I'm going to grab the title, which is one of the foam stickers from the 6x12 sticker sheet. I only have 2 left, I think it is, so I use this one that says love. And now I'm looking at the stickers on the 12x12 sticker sheet. There are 2 of these floral pieces left, So I do end up using those. I'm going to grab my talcum powder or white powder just to take the sticky off so that I can position this where I want it to, and in fact I end up adding them onto foam pads just to raise them a little bit above the photo. Luckily there's a bit of blank space in that bottom left hand corner, so these sit really nicely over that. So this is me just adding the powder to take the stickiness away, and I'm liking how they're looking, and it's in keeping with the sketch. Just a little bit more sticky there, so just adding a bit more powder. And then I wanted to add things up the left hand side. I don't really have many or any more florals, so I've pulled out these blossom tickets from 49er Market, and they work beautifully with this collection as well. So I'm going to add a strip of tickets up the left hand side, and then I'll add some of the stamps over that, which are a different pink and work beautifully. And you don't really notice that they're stamps or tickets, they're just adding a different texture and colour and feel to the layout. So here are those stamps. I'm trying to decide whether to tuck them behind or in front. In fact, when I glue them down, I'd add them on top of the tickets. I saw the backs of these tickets and the phrases were perfect for this layout, but I liked the pop of black that I've got on this side, so I end up using this side. And they're sticking those stamps down. And then here I am with my foam pads. These are the 25mm Sticks 2 foam pads that I use all the time. They're absolutely brilliant. They're sold on a roll, but I just cut them into strips and keep them in this photo box. So adding those to the back of those stickers, just to raise them up, as I say, away from the photo. And that looks really nice. So that's the layout cluster more or less done. I just wanted to bring a little bit more of that black and white in. So cutting off the branding strip from this very thin piece of paper, and I'm just going to add that to that little cluster, lay it over the top of those tickets. It's a little bit tall there, but I'll just distress the edge, stick it down, and then cut the excess off. I think that was the way I did it, or maybe I cut some off first and then stuck it down. Yes, I think I positioned it and then realised and just tore the top off. So just getting that stuck down, and then I'm going to work on a cluster on the bottom right hand corner. That doesn't show in the sketch, but I felt it was needed to balance out that hexagon that I've added to the top left corner, and also just to add something underneath my journaling. There's going to be quite a bit of journaling on this layout underneath that title. So just for balance, I'm adding a little cluster at the bottom there. So this is one of the die cut pieces, and then I'm just adding a couple of tickets and a stamp just to finish that off nicely. It's going to go flat on the page. It didn't need any height down here. And you saw I used my T-square ruler to get that title nice and straight. These foam stickers are gorgeous, but once they're stuck, they're stuck. So you need to be careful when plopping them down onto your page. So there's that little stamp again. I love the different pink. It's like a blush pink that it brings in. And now I'm bringing in some of these enamel dots from a very old Schmel collection that I've just got lying about in my drawer. And then there's a couple of heart enamel dots that we sell at Hey Little Magpie. And finally some pearls, just to add a different texture there. So once those are all on, I can add my journaling. And then I'll come in with some other bits and pieces. So here I am with my journaling, and the journaling just reads, a photo shoot and picnic in the park with Kirsty for your second birthday. We started in Orford and then moved to Victoria Park. You were both so nervous at first and clung to me, but as soon as you were on the climbing frame, you were away. So now I'm drawing a border, just a doodle black border around the edge of the paper, and this is definitely an ode to Laura. She does this quite often, and she adds a little stitch type squiggle to a lot of it, so I will be doing that on each of the edges as well. And I really do like how that sort of grounds the layout really and finishes it off, adds that little border, draws your eye into the centre. So here are those little stitchy lines. And finally I'm going to come in with some black enamel dots for my scattering and splattering, as Laura says. Just dotting those about the page, just bring that black all the way round. There's black in the papers, as you can see on that hexagon on the right hand side that says you and me, so I wanted to bring that black a little bit further around the page. And once that's done, I am going to come in with my gold watercolour to add some splatters. And that's the layout done. So do check the description box down below for everybody else who's joining in on this fabulous hop. I can't believe that we're already on day 13, almost halfway there, and I feel like I've only just started. I hope you've enjoyed this process, and I shall see you again tomorrow for another one. Thanks so much. Bye.